So I remember quite some time ago when I dated the narcissist, and there was this particular trick that used to get me all the time. There was this particular tactic that she used on me regularly, and I always seemed to fall for it because, of course, at that time I was asleep. I was unaware. I had no idea what narcissism was. And so I was opening up to the narcissist green as grass. And she took advantage of this. She took advantage of my kindness. And she took advantage of my truthful nature and would always employ this one tactic. And that tactic was the bait and switch. Okay, now, as we know, narcissists are notorious for provoking their victims and then stepping back to play the victim and then pointing the barrels back at the victim. And so the narcissist would use this all of the time on me, and I felt for it repeatedly because I was not aware, and I was mostly concerned with defending my innocence. I was mostly concerned with promoting the truth, and that was the ammunition, that was the fuel that the narcissist was after, because every time I would do this, she would step back and use that to her advantage, either by involving other people in our business or by involving law enforcement in our business and having me arrested, having me ticketed, having me kicked out of the house, or having me punished in another way. Fast forward until now, guys. This was quite a disturbing factor, and I must say that you have to be empty, deeply empty to your core to do such things. You have to be deeply empty to your core to employ such tactics blatantly to cause harm to another person. Not just another person, the person that you call your lover, the person that you're sleeping with on a regular basis, the person that you are living with, essentially. Okay, in this video we're discussing how the narcissists ruin themselves in an attempt to destroy you. But before we get into it, I'd like to take a moment to say hello and welcome to everyone. If you're new here, I go by the name Inspired Seeker, and on this channel we discuss spirituality, personal development, and narcissism. So if any of that appeals to you, or if you feel called to, then by all means join us, and I promise you will not regret that decision. Also, guys, I want to ask you guys to interact with the videos more. If you're watching my videos consistently, please interact with it. Give it a like, make a comment, share it. Okay, do something with the video to help the algorithm recommend that video to more people that need to hear them. Okay, because the more you guys interact with the videos, the more people get to see them. Okay, so anyway, now that we got that out of the way, let's get into the video, guys. I'll start this one by saying that if you consider yourself chosen, if you're an empath on the journey, then chances are you have experienced narcissism on one level or another. Okay, whether it was within your family, whether it was your significant other, whether it was at the job, at school, in the environment somewhere. It could have been a toxic boss. It could have been a toxic friend circle. But one way or another, you have managed to experience narcissism on one level or another. Okay, now, this video is based on my personal experience with a narcissistic individual that I dated a while back, and so bear with me as I try to narrate what happened at that point in my life and use it as a teaching moment for all of us. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, this narcissistic individual used to employ this one simple tactic. They used to employ the bait and switch, and at that point in time, I was green, I was unaware, I was unawakened, I was asleep. So I would always fall for their tricks because I always found myself at the defensive end, either defending myself or defending the truth. Okay, because this individual would create a problem. Okay, they would provoke me, they would bait me into an argument or a fight, and then step back and point the barrels back at me by involving other individuals in our situation, which was usually their flying monkey, which was usually their parents, or involving the law in our situation and getting me arrested, getting me ticketed, or getting me punished in another way. Okay. Now, we lived together at the time. I paid the bills and we shared the apartment. And the worst part of this was that there were children involved. So I would always attempt to defend my truth, as in, you shouldn't be doing these types of things when you have children around you. They will learn these things. Okay, so that was my main focus there. But anyhow, this thing went on and on and on. And I also believe that race played a very big part in this, because come to find out that the narcissist's mother had friends on the police force. And so every time she would create one of these situations, she would reach out to her mother, and her mother would drive to our residence. But before she gets there, she would call the police to meet her there. Whether I was at fault or not, most of the time it ended up with me being in cuffs. Okay. And so in the community, I'm starting to be seen as the bad person. Okay. Sometimes even outside. Most of the times it happened within the residence, but sometimes it happened as outside as well, where I had no idea why I'm being handcuffed or why I'm going to jail. Okay. There's no limit to what a narcissist will do when it comes to destroying the chosen one. There's no limit to what a narcissist will do when it comes to destroying an empath. Okay. So the narcissist used her parents and her parents' connection on the police force. Okay. Factor number 2 was race. Okay. I'm a black man. I live in America. The narcissist I'm speaking of here was a Caucasian with a Caucasian mother. The police officers I dealt with were all Caucasians, and we lived in a predominantly Caucasian neighborhood. Okay. And so for one reason or another, I always found myself at the defensive end of these individuals, because it was either she was creating a situation and getting her mother involved, and her mother turning and getting the law enforcement involved, or she was creating a situation and getting the law enforcement involved herself. But the truth of the matter is that every time these situations happened, it was all lies. It was all false accusations. It was all blatant attempts to get me jammed up. There was a particular point in time after going through this for so long now, it became apparent that there was something wrong here, because the judge in the courthouse now started dismissing all these charges against me out of nowhere. Okay. Without me even having to do anything, the judge started throwing these charges out. It was obvious that what was taking place wasn't right, and the judge started throwing away these charges. Okay. But fast forward now, we ended up separating. And so what happened here now is that I would get visitation with the child, right? I would get visitation with my child. And since the narcissist had a child before I had a child with her, I would allow her to bring her other child so we can all spend time together. Trying not to keep these kids separated, trying to be good with them all right? Be good to all of them. And so there was this particular day that I had a visit scheduled. And so the narcissist decided to use that opportunity to come into my home. Okay. And so the narcissist came over with the children, and I decided, okay, since we have the children here, why don't you make dinner? We all have dinner. I play with the kids. We have dinner. And then afterwards, you could take them and go home. So I thought we had an agreement, right? I drove the narcissist and the kids all to the supermarket. We purchased some groceries and we came back. She started cooking. And while she was doing this, I was playing with the children, trying to keep them company so she'll have the chance to cook. Now, I came out to the kitchen to get something, to get a drink or something out of the refrigerator. And the narcissist decided to use that as an opportunity to attack me, okay? I remember she picked a fight with me while I was getting my drink out of the refrigerator. And we got into a back and forth. And so I said, I want to have a peaceful visit with my child. I do not want any form of fight, any form of toxicity, any form of arguing. So she succeeded in getting physical with me. And the moment she did that, I grabbed her and shoved her out the door and shut the door and left her outside. So as the entitled narcissist that she is, she called the police and told the police that I hit her, knowing she was the one who assaulted me. And so next thing I know, cops are rushing into my house. They show up to the house. Of course, Caucasian officers, they want to force their way into my house without any probable cause. While I have the door cracked and speaking with them, one of them decided to force his way into my house with anger. You could tell he was racist because he has this anger on his face already. Okay? And so his partner had to tell him, yo, calm down. Because I looked at his partner, who was the senior officer, and I said, if you guys want to come inside, you're going to have to present me with a warrant of some sort. The senior officer asked me what happened, and I explained the situation to him. This narcissist had told them a very different story from what actually transpired in the house. Okay, and so this is what contributed to the idiot officer trying to force his way into my house. Okay, but as I explained the situation to the senior officer, he asked me, whose house is this? Do you guys live together? I said, no. Whose house is this? It's my house. Not knowing the narcissist has told them, oh, my boyfriend beat me and kicked me out the house. And so the officer asked, whose house is this? Does she live here? I said, no, she does not even live here. She's coming to visit with the kids. And she's in the middle of cooking dinner. She's starting to fight me. She's starting to argue and fight with me. I don't want that. I just want to visit with the children. If she wants to cook and serve the kids dinner before she takes them home, that's fine. If she doesn't want to do that, she can go home. But I'm not going to fight with her. And if she starts any argument or any fights, I'm shoving her out the door the same way I did the first time. So the officer said, does she live here? I said, no. He said, whose house is this? I said, this is my house. Everything is in my name. Does she live here? No. She's only here to visit. So the officer said, did you hit her? I said, no. She hit me. And I shoved her outside because I don't want to argue. I don't want to fight. I want to have a peaceful visit with my children. I explained this to the senior officer, and he was like, okay, so at this point, what can we do? I said, well, if she want to finish cooking dinner and serve the children dinner and have a peaceful evening, I'm all for it. But if she wants to fight and argue and all of that, she can leave. Okay, I'm here to have a a peaceful visit with my child. So if she wants to do all of that fussing, she could go on. Okay. The officer grabbed her and explained that to her. And then the officer said, okay, so we have a peaceful resolution. I said, yeah, sure. No problem. I don't have a problem with her. Only I'm not going to fight with her or argue with her. And so from there now, I let the narcissist back in to finish cooking and serve the kids. And there was no fighting or arguing happening after that. Okay. So I said all of this to say that there's no limit to how far a narcissist would go to jam up a chosen one, to jam up an empath, to destroy an empath. Because here now, the narcissist, being the entitled idiot that they are in this situation, went as far as calling the police and telling them that I hit her and kicked her out of the house. First of all, it's my house and you hit me. And you are starting to fight with me. So if I shove you out of the door and close the door on you, how do you feel so offended that you have to call the cops and say that I hit you and kicked you out the house, knowing you are the one who hit me? The narcissist expected these officers to show up, arrest me, and let her stay in my house. Just like how she has done on previous occasions when we lived together. She would call them and get me arrested for false charges. She would call them and get me arrested for absolutely nothing. She expected these officers to come and arrest me and then allow her access to my apartment while I'm in jail. Okay? There's no limit to how far a narcissist would go to destroy a chosen one. All right? And most of these times, guys, a narcissist will put themselves in situations as long as they're seeing the empath in pain, as long as they're seeing the empath bothered. Okay? Now, this same narcissist, guys, there was a particular point in time where this narcissist was going around sleeping with people who knew me, sleeping with people who called me their friend, sleeping with people that would be around me. And so if you're a chosen one and you've dealt with a narcissist or you're currently dealing with a narcissist, then understand that there's no limit to what they will do to hurt you. There's no limit to what they will do to get you back. There's no limit to what they will do to cause you pain, because, guys, let's understand this, okay? When it comes to narcissists, guys, they are very empty. They're very hollow inside, guys. They have absolutely nothing left within them, okay? They don't feel the same way as you do. As an empath, they do not feel the same way as you do. They have destruction at the forefront of their agenda, okay? So no matter what you do for them, no matter if you live together, no matter how long you've been together, guys, when it comes to destroying you or when it comes to hurting you, guys, there's no limit to what the narcissist may do, okay? Most of the time, they put themselves in situations that is just uncalled for, only to see you in pain, only to see you hurt. And so this is what I mean. The narcissists ruined themselves trying to hurt you, because they would go so far to cause you harm. They will go so far to cause you pain. So if you have dealt with a narcissist and now fast forward, you look back, you could see that what they did to hurt you has turned around to bite them. Okay. Now, this could include turning other people against you. This can include getting in rebound situations to piss you off. This can include not allowing you to see your children. This can include many things. Okay. So if you've separated from a narcissist, if you've broken up with a narcissist and you look back, you could see that that narcissist is actually going through hell right now, and this hell is something that they caused on themselves trying to hurt you. This is something that they brought into their lives trying to hurt you, okay? Either they're having hell with your new supply, or they're having hell with some situation that they ended up creating trying to hurt you, okay? And most of the time, guys, if you look back, you could see that narcissists not doing good, all right? I've seen narcissists run themselves on drugs, okay? I've seen narcissists ruin themselves because they've done so much to other people. They've done so much to you, trying to hurt you, that when they realize it's not really affecting you, they have no other choice. They stuck on drugs. They're stuck on alcohol. I've seen narcissists really destroy themselves because that negative energy that they steady pushing towards the empath is bouncing right back to them. That negative energy that is sending the empath's way has no address. It has no recipient. And so it's bouncing right back to them. And when it's returned to them, guys, they're not able to endure it. They're not able to handle it. And it pushes them down so far. All right. So if you have entangled with a narcissist in any way, shape, or form, most especially in a romantic setting, guys, most especially in a romantic situation, there's no limit to what they would do to hurt you. Okay. And most of the time, guys, as I said, when you move on to go heal yourself, when you move on to go take care of your wounds, when you move on to go get your life back on track, chances are, if you look back and check back on the narcissist, they're not doing good. Chances are they are stuck in a situation that they created trying to hurt you. They are stuck with something bad that they created trying to get on your nerves. Chances are they are suffering from something that they brought into their lives in an attempt to hurt you, okay, in an attempt to destroy you, okay? So, as I said, guys, there's no limit to how far a narcissist may go to destroy an empath or to destroy a chosen one, because to them, it's in their nature, guys, okay? It's in their nature. This is what they do. They destroy good-hearted people. They destroy good people. They have nothing left within them. They have absolutely zero within themselves, and so they will go around destroying other people. All right, so I hope I made it clear enough, guys. If you're a chosen one, an empath, and you've experienced narcissism on any level, especially in a romantic setting, if you've experienced this type of situation in your experience, then by all means, take a moment to share your thoughts and your experiences in the comment section to help others. And also share these messages with your loved ones so we can all become aware. And if you're new here and you find value in this, then by all means stick around, because there should be another video or playlist popping up somewhere here. Stick around, get more information on narcissism, get more information on awakening journey. Other than that, I'll leave this here. Until next time, guys, peace, love, and more life.